this video was supposed to be put out months ago, but life got the better of me. If you can't tell from behind me, I am currently in the process of moving at the time of recording this video. Probably once this gets up, I have already moved, but I wanted to get this out because this was a really fun thing that I was able to do. So I was in a Cage Luck tournament on Twitch, and it was the Good Boy Green Edition tournament. It was a tournament hosted by Waffles the Good Boy, who is an amazing streamer and content creator, and it was a lot of fun. I was in the red division, which was a lot of like, I guess, like what we call ourselves the OGs of the Pokemon tournament, and it was just a lovely group of individuals, and I adore each and every single one of them. So what this was about was I was bored one day and decided to make us all in The Sims and build us a house. It was just a lot of fun, and I completely forgot to record the first half of the video where I kind of like made the layout of the house. I just completely just forgot to record it. I was like, oopsie. I think overall, for not being a builder, I think it turned out pretty okay. So like I said before, I actually forgot to record the first part of the build. So I've already built like the main frame, and I'm also really sorry like that some of this goes like really spinny and really fast. And I thought, I was like, okay, if we put the living room in this little corner, it's gonna be okay. It's like we don't need a big. I really did not realize how big this house was until I actually started like trying to figure out the layout of the house, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of room here. So I like scratched a lot of like the original layout that I had and just like went entirely different. Like I tried everything. Like I tried making some rooms downstairs. I tried making like all this other stuff and it just was not happening. But so the tournament is actually already over. Which is kind of the whole reason this house was built was during the tournament. I did not end up winning the tournament. I think I came in 5th place in my division. Um and then our and the person that actually won was in a different division, so there was 3 total divisions, and so there was the red, green, and blue, and a affinity from the blue division actually ended up winning the whole tournament, which was very well deserved because what a lovely person. And I honestly adored everyone that was in the tournament. But here I'm just trying to like figure out how to do the kitchen. I couldn't figure out how to get like the island counter to look right, which is why it's just kind of hanging out freestanding. And I tried cabinets. I don't remember if I left them or not. I think I did, or I might have deleted them because they just look kind of weird. But I ended up putting the living room kind of near the staircase because that was really the only place that kind of made sense. And I think it overall worked for like the actual layout that I'm having to deal with this house. Like I have been building more and I've gotten a little bit better. I have yet to tackle a house this big though again. It was so daunting and so scary and it just it was not working out. So this room actually ends up being Waffles the good boy room. For those who do not know, Waffles is a talking dog. So even though I still gave like a normal bed and a desk, I still gave like a dog bed and kind of like some very like dog-like qualities. So like some treats on the nightstand and stuff like that. And it was just really fun like making this room very like dog aesthetic vibes. And I think this is the only room that ended up being downstairs because Waffles is actually a dog in the game. And I don't know. And since Waffles is a small dog, if you don't know, Waffles is a Pomeranian. And I wanted him to have to like continuously walk up and downstairs, so it's like he can have the first floor bedroom and the only one on that floor. So this is where a lot of the bedrooms end up being. I think there's a total of 4 or 5 bedrooms on that second floor. Um, which is not all of them. This is a 9-person household, like counting Waffles. So there's 8 human Sims and then there's Waffles. So obviously, like I had to figure out how to add the other rooms. So I kind of always start with the bathrooms just because they're the easiest to furnish to me. Um, and so this ends up being, I think, Nick Sacco's room over there, and then this one with the workout equipment is Goose with socks. And so every bedroom actually ended up getting a computer and a desk essentially because we're all streamers, so it's like it's kind of a necessity. I was like, well, if we're all streamers, we might as well have them all because that's how we are normally. And then this one right here, the hot pink and cyan blues and all that, that's Ben Torius, who does amazing beer reviews. I think Ben was originally the one that everyone thought was going to win the tournament. Ben still gave it his all and almost took it for the team, but Affinity just held out. And the one with the double bed is actually my room. I think I'm the only one besides Waffles with the double bed because I'm like, if I'm gonna be building this house, I'm gonna have a double bed. And then I don't remember whose room that was. So I at this point I realized that I don't have enough room to finish all the bedrooms. So I was like, what if I make this like little secondary container type apartment unit in the back and just have it to where they have to climb up by ladders? And I was like, oh, that could work. Like just climb up and down. Like it only has to be like 2 or 3 bedrooms. It'll be fine. And have like a bathroom for each one. It did not work out to my liking. I just could not get it to look right. And I ended up scrapping it and just building a third floor, which is what I didn't want to do. Because you'll see later that the third floor of the house just kind of looks out of place. It looked great with just the second floor, like, and then it just it just gets so bad. I couldn't figure out how to get it to look right because I usually don't build like 3-story houses. And it just was not working. Like I tried to make the roof and everything look okay, and it wasn't happening. But we tried. And it just was so bad. And it's like no matter what I did to it, I just could not get it to look right. Like I kept trying all these windows and all these things, and it just, you know, we did what we had to do. But it's not the worst. I think it would have looked better with a slightly different roofing, in my opinion, but I did what I could. And so I think up here ends up being Novo, um, Dice, and someone else. Who am I forgetting? Oh, aspiring Poke Trainer. And I think that ends up being their rooms. I think Flying Bison is down on the second floor. I think that was his room that I forgot. It was really fun also designing like kind of their characters' looks and everything. I pretty much just found various stills in their stream and just kind of mirrored their essentially like look and aesthetic based off of that. And I think everyone turned out pretty well. Goose was really the only one that had a little bit of say because he was there when I was making some of them. And he and so that's just how that went. Um but I think this is oh yeah, so I don't know how so this house ended up costing so much and I just don't know how that happened. I mean, I say I don't know how that happened. As we see, this is a 3-story house. Everyone has a computer, and it's just it makes sense how it added up so fast. So I actually ended up making what would have been a second bedroom on the first floor, like a little game area, and just kind of like with some bar with a bar and just some other stuff. So that way there was some like fun things to do for The Sims because we didn't really have that in the house yet. So there's like a foosball table and a bar and a what are the dart boards. And I think it worked out quite well. Um because so like I said earlier, Ben does a lot of beer review things. So like when I was playing the actual game, Ben's sim just kept making drinks over and over and over again, which was quite funny to us. Just for the fact that like it was very like real life-esque. And so I think at this point I've finished most of the like basic furniture type stuff. So now I'm just going back in and trying to like decorate the actual rooms, make them look a little nicer, a little prettier. I added some lights to the game room just to kind of give it that flair and just trying to figure out like how to actually decorate it because while I'm decent at like basic furniture wise, I'm not the greatest at like decorating bedrooms or other rooms. Pretty much like if it's not a like normal like a bathroom, a kitchen, or a dining room. Like after that, I just like I'm like, I'll just add some photos everywhere and see how it goes. And this was like back when I didn't really know much about like building cheats, so I wasn't aware that like or like other building like things. I wasn't aware that I could size up and size down paintings. I didn't really know about like move objects. So this was all with me just like only alt placing things if I wanted to. And I wish I would have known about like the sizing up and down because that it would have made my life a little bit easier with actual decorations and landscaping because landscaping is always a pain. I don't know anyone that really enjoys landscaping, at least within my circles. I'm sure there are many Sims builders that do enjoy landscaping, but it's something I'm just not good at. And so here I'm decorating my room. Of course, I have to have the bi flag up hanging proudly, and I'm just trying to figure out like what to do. So I added some wine bottles because I do drink a lot of wine, and there's just some other like cutesy little decorations. I have a yoga mat in my room. I don't do a lot of yoga in real life, at least not as much as I would want. But my sim can have a little bit better life than I do, so that's okay. So that's kind of like what happened there. Um, so this is just one of the upstairs bathrooms. There's surprisingly very little bathrooms compared to actual bedrooms, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea when I actually started playing the game. But we made it work and that's all that really matters. Because I don't know about you, but like having 9 Sims in a house with only I think there was 4 bathrooms, like it doesn't work very well. Um, but we made it work. We made it work. There was just a lot of like awkward, like the Sims kept walking in on each other in the bathrooms and then getting embarrassed. But we're all friends here. It's fine. And so like the coloring of some of these rooms might seem a little strange, but basically I asked everyone kind of like what their favorite color is, what how do they like to decorate their room, and stuff like that. I think I made Gooses a little too sporty for what he actually is. He does work out a lot and he does do like several types of sports, but a lot of the sports stuff I put in there was not really what he plays. But I think it works for like the limitations of Sims because I tried not to use any like custom content, even though there's not much custom content in my games. But I was just like, I don't want to like use anything like that just because I don't know. So this is Novo's room up here. Novo is a very interesting lad. Very much like meme lord. I don't know if that's the best way to describe Novo. Novo, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But that's just like, I don't know, that's the first thing that comes to my head. And then this is aspiring Poke Trainer's room. It's a very cute, nice little vibe. I was told think he said he had a cat, so I added a little cat statue. It's been a while since I looked at like people's list. Um, and this up here does end up being Dice's room. Dice has a very nice like black and gold aesthetic in his streams, and I tried to like bring that in. And for some reason, I added that Yoda doll. I don't really know why, but it felt right, and so that's why it's just like that. And so I try to add some stuff also outside for Waffles since he is a dog and a very good boy and deserves to be able to have some exercise. You can see Waffles down there next to my sim. Quite adorable. And so I just wanted some things in the outside just so it looks kind of okay. And overall, I think the house turned out alright. It's definitely not the best, but for the purpose that it served, it worked quite well. Like, I tried to put a giant tree in the front so I could hide the 3rd floor as much as possible because it just does not look good. And I tried to do some, like, what is it? The, terrain paint. I still don't know how to use it, but I am trying my hardest. I think it was a little too like wide for what it should have been. But overall, I think the house turned out okay. Could it have been better? Yes. Was it still fun to do? Yes. And I think that's all that matters. So I'm gonna list every one in the Red Division down below, just so that way if you ever want to check out their streams, feel free to. But I am going to be producing some more Sims 4 content. I decided I want to do essentially a legacy challenge, so that should be coming out very soon after this video, and I am super excited about it. I've wanted to do this for so long, and as always, I'll see you on the other side. Bye.